Live and kicking. Hello, everyone. Well, nobody, but until somebody comes, hello, everyone. Excuse me. So, no one's gone live. No Ben, no Greg. I don't know. What's going on? So, the BFG, or the DBF, or J. Who is needed to make the chase happen the way that it's supposed to be? INFJ. You're one of them. Oh, I've got nobody in, but there you are. Ah, there you are. 1 and 1. Hope you're doing well. Just a few thoughts that have been rattling around. Me and David B too, just chatting about stuff that, in the book, how maybe some of the things that have happened are part of the book, and how that confirms, how the chase progressed. It's not a bad word, that'll do, progressed. So, things like, I was the only one who knew the sliding trick, rust stains on my pants. Everybody knew, what it was that I'd done. I'm good, although my patience is growing thin. I don't think FF wanted us to wait this long. Hi, Jeff. Oh, is that a dig? Hello, no. Looking good. Oh, thanks, Jeff. I don't know why. Maybe your eyesight's going. Hi, MJ. And way back. And Lily. Woohoo. How you doing? So, there are some things. Forrest and Eric wanted the bridge. I think that maybe could be happening. Those things. It's difficult to know how to move forward in somebody else's shoes. That's certainly an issue. My new glasses haven't arrived yet. You need extra strength glasses. I was just thinking of some of the things that I want to talk about, but I think if it's going to happen the way that it's supposed to, then the book has to make sense. The stuff that was written in the book has to make sense. The interviews have to make sense. So, whatever information comes out doesn't need explaining, doesn't need, going over. It, people will understand that, yes, Forrest did say this, yes, Forrest did say this, yes, Forrest did say this is what that could mean, this is what, well, not what it could mean, what it does mean, I would say. You have a pink glow instead of yeah, that's not me, that's the, computer. It does those things. Yeah, that's not me. I'll probably like grey really in real life. I'll probably look 70 if you see me in person, and the computer manages to make me look a little bit better than I am. Although I have to admit, I did wear not a shirt, but a jumper shirt combination, like tank top and shirt. It's really not a shirt. It's just a jumper, really. But that's probably it. Probably because I've got a collar on instead of a. It's still a t-shirt. It's still a t-shirt, but it looks like a shirt. it takes me back to when I was younger because I used to wear them quite a bit, where it's just fake, like there is no shirt, it's just a sewed in, it's just a collar top. So, and I used to like those because you don't have to um, iron your shirt, which is always a good thing. If you don't have to do any ironing, it's a brilliant thing. So, in all of this, everything seems to get postponed, but there are some things that need to take place, in our opinion, that haven't been said and haven't been done that may cause, issues with, searchers who who feel that they, have sold the Forrest Fenn poem and who may be inclined to want to contest what was the plan. And Forrest said things like, I hope nobody ever finds out. It's not who you are, it's who you can make them think you are. Those things are important as far as understanding the overall, but not important to Forrest and the family, but not important to the search community. There's like a public answer to that and a private answer to that. So the statements that are made, while general, um, relate to different things, which is pretty much how the chase went. Forrest could make a statement, and it could mean, a couple of things. It wasn't just for one event, one, happening, one future happening. It wasn't just like that. Davey B, good day to you. How you doing? Don't know what that is. LB, I don't know what that is. I don't know. It's French. Hello, hello, hello. It seems French. And all. Et. I don't know. Don't know. Not going to try now. Just make myself look silly. So, nobody seems to be going live, even though they say they're going live. Events are being pushed back. I was actually waiting for Ben to go live, as he said, and Greg did some teasing, and then I see videos where I haven't watched the videos, but I've seen, I just click on Forrest Fenn today, and then the videos come up, and I've watched one or two, but I haven't really watched them all. But I can't make my mind up whether people are falling out with each other or not, from the titles and the wording of the video, or whether, well, looking at streets, train, light at the end of the tunnel sort of thing. Which, makes sense in the grand scheme of things. Oh, yeah, that's what I do habitually. Bonjour. What, give up? Yeah, that's how it Bonjour. Comment ça va? It is actually morning here, you're right. It's gone past midnight. Oh, as far as I said, as I sit here by my juniper fire, past midnight. So totally lost my train of thought there. Train of thought, never mind. It sounded good before I said it. So light at the end of the tunnel, that was always the case. There was always light at the end of the tunnel. Things were never, as bad as they seemed. Nothing is as it seems. Words don't mean what you think they do. Everything was meant to bring us to a point in time, and then we carry on. That was what was supposed to happen. In the public domain, that's one thing, and in the private domain, it's something else. But it's still like, wow. However you look at this, from early 70s to now, and maybe even before the early 70s, but definitely from the early 70s to now, it's I'm not going to say it's unbelievable. To some people, it would be unbelievable. They won't believe it, but to most, it would be unimaginable. Just you wouldn't be able to imagine that these things took place in order that this thing took place in order that this thing took place. And Forrest said, like, I can't remember. I can remember, but it seems like I have two memories. I have the 11 things had to come together and 14 things have to come together in order that he can make it happen. And I don't know which one is correct in the way that Forrest meant it, or correct in the way that I remember it. I remember it as 14, but I also hear 11. Just like I can remember you won't find it where you're looking, and the chest won't be where you find it, or whatever. So two different statements, a bit like the Mandela effect. People swear blind that this happened, and yet the information we have present is that it didn't happen. And yet I can understand that, some of the things that people say did happen, that's how I remember it, not the way that it's, portrayed at the moment. So some things happened, and how you remember it is not how it is at all. Oh, I thought there was something else there. So Ralph Lauren said to Forrest, I want to buy that headdress. And Forrest basically said, I don't want to sell it. And Ralph Lauren said, well, you can't take it with you. Well, if I can't take it with me, I'm not going. Then, tack on an extra year. Put it under your bed for 30 days. Once you know you've got it, put it under your bed for 30 days. There's a lot to think about. Those things happen, or those things are said, and there has to be an understanding of that, a reason why those things are said, why those things are meant to happen. The reason why he says it's not who you are, it's who you can make them think you are. Following my footprints, a secret treasure and an outrageous dare, a secret treasure and an outrageous dare, sharing my passion, difficult but not impossible, simple, fit on a post-it note. All the statements that are said that sometimes contradict, they all must make sense. My father burning a candle at both ends. If you die with more than $50 in your pocket, you're a failure. Did the hot water affect the patina? The treasure chest is wet. They all have to make sense. If when the answers come out, if you think of everything, then when somebody tries to question what it is that's been said, it has to make sense. There has to be a reason for the information that we got. And if that's not going to be the case, then maybe that's why we wait, because some of the things haven't made sense, and it wouldn't be fair to anybody in the community, anybody, from Forrest, to the 350,000th searcher. It has to make sense. There can't be any reason for somebody to say, well, hang on a minute, you said this and it's not this, and that means it's not right, and etc. etc. I can't think of anything said to David B not so long ago. There was a couple of things that I couldn't work out. I just, like, Forrest said this, and there's no reason why he should have said that. Like, there's nothing I can think of that explains that statement, or explains, what happened there, or explains, what we saw. And those things, have been reeled off. And I understand them now, because I didn't come into the chase at the beginning when those statements were made. And they make sense if they're made in 2010 or 2015, but they didn't make sense in 2019 or 2020. Hey, Tim, how are you doing? Oh, you as well. ETAL. Teal. What's with this? And I don't know what it is, because Tulamol, maybe, but et al. Or et and AI. And all the bots. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Who loves you, baby? Kojak and his lolly. They all love you. Ooh, I am a blue guy. Cool. Well, blue is cool. Blue is the colour. Uh-oh. Hi, Hush. What are you not? You're not blue. Is that what you're saying? Hey, Moni. Sorry, I missed you. Sorry. Sorry, very sorry. Not intentional. Actually, I missed quite a few. What's going on? You weren't talking, now all of a sudden I missed loads. That saying of Forrest, I do not agree with. I don't know which saying that is. Which one's that? That saying of Forrest, I do not agree with. You are who you are. Oh, that's what it is. You are who you are, period. Doesn't matter who you are, only matters who you can make them think you are. I don't know. I think if you look at your politics now, I think it only matters who you can make them think you are. So it's good to see Money or Luigi. Not me, Hush Whisper. What's that about? Because you're not blue? I'm blue. Jockeys of Humanity, Mr. Street. How many videos are you putting out? Is that supposed to be like at the end of the tunnel? Me and David just saw it and thought, hang on. I'm not sure if you're highlighting the fact that there's this little dwarf running in front of the train, or that there's light at the end of the tunnel. But it's good to see you here. And Mr. Woody, how are you doing? Well, thanks for asking. Well, with one L. I do. Hush, where are you? What is not me? Not me, but you, not me. When you said not me, what is the not me? Greetings. Good to hear, Zozo. You can hear Zozo? I can't hear Zozo. And I am glad you're great. Hush was answering Zozo. Okay, that's good. It's good to see you too. You are appreciated. Thank you, Moni. And Moni. And you are too. Not you are two people. You're one person, but you're also appreciated. To be honest, at Street, I sort of wish my project would be a little. Hang on. I hate it when you people do this. I do. I sort of wish my project would be a little bit more. Would be a little more receptive than it has since I went public. Strange days. Did you tell everybody you're going public? Because whatever you went public about, I don't know what that is. Oops. I did it again. Sorry, man. What's that for? Oh, the BB. Is that your gun? Your BB gun? Would be a little bit more. But I got it now. I'm all good. It's just crazy. Would be a little bee. Like a little bee and not a big bee. Typos. Strange indeed. Doctor Strange. So, who really actually paid any attention to why Forrest said it's not who you are, it's who you can make them think you are? Because Lorraine Mills says, "Who is the real Forrest Fenn?" And he said, "I hope nobody ever finds out." Which means maybe you should try and find out. There would have been a reason why, that statement would have been made. And it had to make sense. So, when you end the chase, you have to have an idea of why Forrest would make that statement. And also, if I told you, I'd have to kill you, basically, is what he's saying. And why two can keep a secret if one of them is dead, etc., etc., etc. So you can believe that all of these things were said because they were meant to be found. They were meant to be found out. You were meant to know what these things are. To understand or have an idea of how this all came about. What was the reason, staying 9 years or 13 years or however that was? What was the reason for those statements? Why were they made? And how does it affect, the thrill of the chase? Very strange days. The writings on the wall. Oh, Michael Jackson is back. Mario, only an honest man would say that. Ooh, I don't know what I said, but thanks. All right, I'll say it. That. Am I honest now because I said that? I think we all found out, Mario. The good and bad. And the ugly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Hi, Queen. You know you don't miss anything when you come on this channel. There's nothing I say that's worth listening to, so you haven't missed anything. Talking about the bridge that Forrest was talking about, him and Eric, how that may be relevant moving forward in the chase. Keys that he had, the big friendly giant, or the BFG, or the GFBJ, maybe. How they're important to the chase. It's important to the chase. Those that know about the chase will know, or should think. If they put those together, they'll know who that relates to. Accused John Lennon. Strange days indeed. I don't think I know that. The only person who truly knows oneself is their self. It is indeed. And sometimes You don't know people as well as you think you do. Mario, pink is the new beige. Well, I used to be olive, but it's a pickle jar now, so maybe I'm a bit of a pickle. Of Forrest the Fenn. Keys are very important. So I read, yes, keys are very important, and so is a bridge. It may indeed help, affecting the futures or future may, may be important. Not everything that Forrest said is important, and each have a part. Any part of someone's better than no part of any. My father was burning the candle at both ends. Those statements on their own don't make any sense. Diamond more than $50 in your pocket, you're a failure. Even my costs were making a profit. But on their own, they're just like random, I don't know what that means, sort of statements. But when you have an idea about any part of some and the whole, not 9 Mile whole, but even that has some relevance. And I've said before, even if the answer is south of Santa Fe, or a answer is south of Santa Fe, doesn't mean to say that Forrest lied. It just means to say that we didn't understand the statement. Now, people said before, if you go north and keep going north, you're going to end up south of Santa Fe. Not that that's what was done, but you could do that. If warm waters halt and warm waters halt at the equator, then you could potentially go north and back round and come back to the equator. So you could end up, as I did, in middle of the water, or you can end up in a place called Equator, which is in New Mexico, I think, from memory. So both of those things that I did, because what if? And if you didn't think what if, you wouldn't find half of those potential souls. I end up in a kiva, in New Mexico, and it's like, well, that's got nothing to do with what Forrest was saying, but it had everything to do with what Forrest was saying. If you just thought what if. So you can end up at the equator because that's where warm waters halt. It's a real statement. You can end up in Wyoming because that's where the higher warm west rain, falls. And you could end up in Colorado by being in Wyoming originally, by being brave and in the wood. If you listen to what Forrest said and take all of that on board. And the problem with that is you're going to find out you're wrong very many times. Because in every solve that you make, it's based upon what you're thinking. And you get to the point where you hear Forrest say, no one can think my thoughts. Then when you get to that point, you just stop yourself, because there is no point thinking. There is no point trying to come up with a solve. It's like Forrest just said, don't bother thinking about it. I'll tell you what it is. Because if you can't think Forrest Fenn's thoughts, it doesn't matter what you come up with, there's no point thinking. I think it's, no, you can't think his thoughts. Yeah, but I think it's, no, you can't think his thoughts. Yeah, but I think, no, you can't think his thoughts. So whatever thought you have is incorrect. Doesn't matter what thought that is. However long it takes you to think of it, how long it takes you to solve it, it doesn't matter. So the first thought that is your thought is wrong. That's it. It's wrong because it's yours. It came from you. It didn't come from Forrest. So in all of the Thrill of the Chase from 2010 onwards, anybody who had a thought and made it their solve was wrong. That's the simplest way I can put it. If you had a thought and it finished with a solve, it's wrong because it didn't come from Forrest. So basically, Forrest said, I'll tell you what the answer is if you listen good. If you listen good, I'll tell you what the answer is. You don't need to think about it. You just need to listen to me, follow my footprints, do these things, and I'll tell you what the answer is. So for most of the chase, anybody who came up with a solve was never going to be correct, ever. If they thought of that solve and carried it through to the end, it was wrong. And it was wrong from the very first start, which is why Forrest said all those things, about begin at where one water's hole. And in the end, you just had to have it nailed down. That was it. Like, you can't come up with an idea, but if he came up with an idea that was his idea, the only way you could confirm the fact it's Forrest Fenn's and not yours is by having it nailed down. And then you know, because, as I was saying to a friend, there is no confirmation, ever. None. It doesn't matter what your solve is, the only person that confirms your solve or your ideas is you. You at the back. You. You're the only people that confirm your solve. So when you say, I'm the solver, it's 100% right, I'm the solver. No, don't think so. You're the only person that confirmed your solve. So therefore, it can't be you. Because Forrest didn't tell you what it was. It was your thought. And again, once you had a thought, you were wrong because it wasn't Forrest Fenn's. So he basically said, before you start, you're wrong. That's what he was saying. Before you start, you're wrong. I'm just telling you now. Before you start, you're wrong. Because I've got to tell you what it is. Yes, Rusty Britches. Oh, you've gone really well now, haven't you? Uh-oh. Hush. I ask you a question, you don't tell me the answer, then you retract whatever it is that you said. But it is good to have you. People only know what you want them to think. Yes, which is what they think and not what you know yourself. Now you better understand me shaking up the masses, Jeff. Time to wake. Wakey, wakey. And don't forget the saying on his paints. Joe, yes. Joe, yes. Well, I don't know what that stands for. How's the weather down under? Whether the weather be hot or whether the weather be cold. Tip's hat. Uh-oh. Davey's going to see big ears. That's what he says, ain't it, Noddy? Sun is shining, birds are singing. I'm off to see my mate Big Ears because I love him and he loves me. Is a rusty fire escape considered a bridge to freedom? According to Forrest, I would say the window was the bridge, but I suppose you could say the fire escape is the bridge. Clinks with Jeff. Hey, pirate, how the diddly are you doing? Welcome, says Lulybell. Iron staining and mineralization. It's good to have you here, pirate. If anybody has seen Richard or does see Richard, say hi. Or speaks to Richard. Don't have to see him. Just have to say hi. Or Ben and tell him what happened to his show. Or Greg, tell him what happened to your show. Which, is the reason why I've come on, because nobody else is. So I would assume that K-Pro is, so it's not going to be too long. And if K-Pro does go live, then just tell me so that I can get out of the way, basically. Now I'm going to do that. I'm going to send some hearts up. And some smiles. Thank you. Some flowers for men and women, if that's the case. Just a strange world that we live in at the moment. Ooh, a flag to you. So, I've totally forgotten where I was. Yep. Totally forgot what I was saying. Normally I forget and then can get it back, but not this time. Think about rusty breeches and tipping hats. So, 2017 February, Forrest was looking for someone, and I have to believe that it wasn't a searcher. People saying, the finder, etc., and all this, but I can't believe that it's a searcher, because if it was a searcher and he tipped his hat to the searcher, and it was because of the correct solve, then this would have started panning out in 2017. So maybe he was looking for someone else, and maybe someone more important than a searcher. I can't watch the Vegas shows. The Vegas shows? What are the Vegas shows? Oh, you're on about K-Pro and etc., etc., etc. Mario, is that Russian bomb boat still adrift in England? I don't do news, sorry, MJ, but I'm pretty certain that there is always a Russian military presence at some point around England because of what was said. And this, excuse me, I talk about stuff that's going on in your country because you obviously understand it more than you would understand if I was talking about stuff that's going on in my country. But it's the same stuff, exactly the same stuff. There's a plan for the communists to rule the planet, and they are either buying their way in, blackmailing their way in, trying to change the world. People say, Trump's none of my business because I'm not an American, but I'm a human being. And these people that are doing what they're doing, they need to be called out. This is not about politics. This, I suppose it's about politics, but this is about, real nasty people who don't care. And by nasty people, I'm not starting, at Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, starting at BlackRock. That's where this shit is coming from. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. And these people are going along with it, and it has to stop. Around the world, it has to stop. This is Bible stuff. I know people don't believe in it, but this is Bible stuff that's happening. Literally, right now. This is, people say they don't believe in the Bible, but this is God's plan, God's statement, whatever it is. This is what's written in the Bible. This is exactly how it was written. And the more people go against it, the more it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Until the point, and the only point that proves it, is when Jesus comes back. If things carry on the way they're going. So those people that say they don't believe are speeding up that process where either there's World War III or Jesus comes back and saves us. Both of them can't be good. It'll be good that Jesus comes back and saves us, but, something must have happened for him to save us from it. So neither are good. World War III, not good. Jesus having to come back because the world's gone to shit, not good. Neither of them are good. And the better way out of it is for everyone to get along and try to understand that whatever the plan is, We can't control it. All we can do is end up in a World War III. That's all we can do as human beings. And if there is a better plan, I'd rather have that plan. I'd rather have that plan, you know. And I don't think that it's going to stop. I think it's going to come to the point where we're going to prove that what was written in the Bible in Revelations, which hasn't been wrong yet, is going to come to pass. And the only thing is, you know, in the past, it's been written that God has changed his mind for the better and for the worse. So, similar to Forrest, doesn't like making plans, they're antagonistic to freedom, but in anybody's mind, there's always this is how I'd like it to happen. And then, you know, people do things and it changes. Maybe Forrest tipped his hat because someone left it for others to find. No, probably not. Maybe he tipped his hat to somebody that he was looking for, and there's more than one answer and more than one reason. I don't think, well, I might be wrong, but it's possible. But I've got to say it's possible. It's possible that somebody left it for someone else to find. It's possible. Yep, it's like watching local news. Spend time teasing the weather instead of just giving the weather in the same amount of time. He knew what he was looking for. What a special time to be alive. Absolutely. And more special if you believe. BlackRock bought into the parent company of the lithium mine in September. That was it. Yeah. I mean, BlackRock's worse than that. The two people that tried to assassinate, probably the third one now, you know, two of them did adverts for BlackRock. You know, two for two. Two shooters of, I was going to say a Forrest fan, of Donald Trump. Both did adverts for BlackRock. Now we have a third assassination attempt from a politician who didn't win his, effort to be elected. Not winning, a seat and shooting the person who's probably going to become president is not going to help you win that seat. Like, that's just a stupid thing to do. I didn't win my seat. I'm a Republican. I didn't win my seat. So now I'm going to kill Donald Trump because I didn't win. I don't think Donald Trump stopped you winning. And the fact that you have that mindset, that's what probably stopped you winning. Yeah, it's obvious it was set. You've only got to see the pictures and the videos of the hurricane to know that that's not a normal looking hurricane. It's obviously manufactured. It's totally different. The weather that we see, the skies that we see, the color of the sun, all of it. It's, again, a bit like the chase, it's virtual. It's not real. That's not normal nature. It's not nature. So, you can't believe what you're seeing, you can't believe what you're hearing. Again, a bit like the chase. Nothing is as it seems, words don't mean what you think they do. You've got CNN, MNS, whatever. ABC, all of those people just lying through their teeth about what is happening and refuse to hear the truth. Whatever reason that is, I don't know. But I've heard people talk and a statement's been made and they're like, well, what was the statement? Here's one. The people in Aurora. The apartment buildings have been invaded by Venezuelan gangs. The city's being overrun. No, that's not true. There's only a few buildings being overrun by Venezuelan gangs. What? What? You're an American and you think it's okay that only a few are overrun by Venezuelan gangs. Only a few people are dying from all these immigrants. Only a few people have lost their homes and had to leave. Only a few. What the heck is that? You're a news reporter, supposedly giving truth, and you'll find that acceptable to say, yes, these Venezuelan gangs are in the city, but they're only killing a few people and they're only taking over a few buildings. Shut up. Don't do that job anymore. Get out. You've lost all sense of reason. You cannot say it's okay that only a few. It doesn't matter whether they're eating the pets or not. What matters is now get into that place and report what is happening. And even though you hear what's happening, your mind says, well, it's only a few. 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings. There's only, a few hundred people that have been affected by it in a big town. You're crazy. And that's how it is. Rather than tell the truth, which is, this is really bad. This is really bad. These millions of people have come over, and in a town, a few buildings have been overrun by Venezuelan gangs. People have lost their homes because of them. People have been threatened, intimidated, or hurt, probably even killed by these people. And it's okay because it's only a few. Well, you multiply those few, remember what Forrest said, you multiply them by every town across the US, it's no longer only a few. And it's crazy to just say, well, it's only a few. Absolutely crazy. I don't get it. I really don't get it, how someone in the news can just say, well, it's only a few. Just, uh-oh, why has that happened? Why can't I? Oh, there we go. I'm missing stuff. Yeah, there's supposed to be, was it Andrew? Matthew? It's supposed to be Matthew or someone. Yes, in the Atlantic. Yeah, again, you've only got to look at it, how it happened. The hurricane came across, hurricane level 5, and within, no time at all, thankfully, it went down to a level 1 because it wasn't a real hurricane. It was made. And it didn't, it went across all the power grids. Oh, that's coincidental. Nobody's got any power. It went across all the power grids. Let's just turn off the power, shall we? Laugh out loud, Tim. I've sinned in the Atlantic. Either way, I win. Fat fingers. I saw that. Did you see the Alex Jones interview? Did you see Alex Jones? No, don't know who the interview was. I figured you were practicing your old English. I love what MJ. My project. Oh yeah, this is my life's work. With my accent, I'd never be able to pull off an old English. Hi Tim, it's all good to see you. No, I can't either. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, says Street. It's supposed to be oh yay, oh yay, oh yay. Only a few is too many. Only a few is too many. Yeah, only a few. That's just crazy. Like, I just wonder what's going through your head, woman. You're telling JD Vance that it's not the whole city, it's only a few. And yet I just think, well, what if it was your town? What if it was your apartment building? Would you say, well, it doesn't matter, it's only my apartment building? Or would you go, look, get these people out of here. They don't belong here. It's like crazy. It's like, they talk about TDS. And it's obviously true. Like, you can't hear or see what it is you're saying and the effect that it's having on people. You just can't see it. It's like no one in their right mind, nobody in their right mind says, well, it's only a few apartment buildings which has lots of people in, not just like a few people, a few apartment buildings being ransacked and people losing their homes and being scared to death and being hurt by these people. It's like, what? There is something wrong with you. This Trump derangement syndrome, it must be real, because there's something wrong with you. You say, well, that's okay. Well, what if it was your mum? What if it was your daughter? What if it was your son? What if it was your granddad or grandmother? Would it still be okay? Of course it wouldn't. And it's like, you just have no idea. None. It just doesn't process. Just crazy. Crazy. If it is NBA, very much excited. And trust me, you can't get none more excited than that. You're right. The world is insane. So you have joined a huge crusade. Who? Me? I'm not joining a crusade. I'm just saying. I'm just saying how it is. There isn't. I suppose there is. I didn't think of it as a crusade, but yeah, I suppose it is. You know, just stop the world going to shit. Just stop the world going to shit. Nobody else wants to. That's the issue. It doesn't. You know, some of the things Donald Trump says are a little bit hurtful and a little bit, sharp. But in all of it, the truth is, what he plans to do is a lot better than what's being done. And that will have an impact around the world, not just in America. And if you listen to what he says, he loves his country and he loves the world. Nothing wrong with that. A billionaire who doesn't need to do this, who doesn't need to keep getting shot at, like third time now, third attempt. Trust me, after the first one, I'll be like, no, I'm not getting paid. I haven't asked for any money, and people are shooting at me. All I want to do is make the world a better place, and people are shooting at me because they don't want to make the world a place. That's what this is about. They want to make you into communists. He wants to keep it a republic with the democratic lifestyle of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. He wants that to remain. They want to get rid of it. They want to get rid of your freedom of speech. They want to get rid of your guns. They want to make you the same as the Chinese and the Russians. They want the rich people and the poor people. That's what they want. They say, oh, no, we're looking after the middle class. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because if you bring the middle class up, if you bring them up, the poor people and the people on the streets don't exist anymore. They are the cattle that they want. They don't care about them. And it just proves it with Helena. They don't care. FEMA aren't going in. They don't care. Less people left, the easier it is to take over that area. They don't care. They don't care. And if anybody believes that they do, I mean, I know people are voting for Kamala Harris, and you say to them, so what is it that you like about Kamala? She's black. What? That's it. What is it you like about Kamala? She's a woman. It's about time we had a woman president. What? What, you don't care she's killing people? You don't care she doesn't care about people? You don't care that all she says is, I come from a working class, middle class family. She did say working class once, but she's probably trying to get more voters. I come from a middle class family, blah, 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 blah. What? And you're going to vote for her? And you have no idea what her policies are. She's just not Donald Trump. What? You're not voting for Donald Trump, so you vote for somebody who's going to make you a slave. Just vote independent. Don't vote for someone that's going to enslave you. That's just stupid. Don't vote for somebody who has got no policies at all. Don't vote for someone that the media is protecting. Because if they're protecting her, there's something wrong. If the media isn't telling the truth, there's something wrong. They didn't tell us the truth about Joe Biden for 3.5 years. Well, 4 years, because when I saw him, he didn't look like he should have gone to be president. And I didn't know. But no, that was 4 years ago he was in that way. And the media kept it quiet and she kept it quiet. That in itself is enough reason for me not to vote for her. Because if the media are protecting him, they're protecting her. It's that simple. And he's not fit to run. And on top of that, sorry to go on like this, but on top of that, if she truly was fit to be president, don't you think she'd be president now? Don't you think they would have put her in? Joe Biden is not fit to run the country. He's not fit to run the country. He wasn't fit to stand trial. He's certainly not fit to run the country. Therefore, that is the job of the vice president. They kicked him out. They kicked him out from running for president. So she should be running the country. She's not fit to run the country. She doesn't want people to know that she's not fit to run the country. There's two good reasons why you shouldn't vote for her. Hell would freeze over before I vote for somebody like that. Not because I like Donald Trump. But what he says makes sense. What she says makes no sense. What the media says makes no sense. So, no. If Biden is not fit enough to stand trial, he's not fit enough to run the country. Therefore, the vice president runs the country because the president is not fit enough. They kick him out and dare not put her in charge. That's crazy. A man is running the country who's not fit enough to stand trial, and the vice president is not fit enough to take his place. That's crazy. I'm pretty certain if Trump came down with dementia and became senile, that JD Vance would say, sorry, matey, you're not fit enough. I need to take over, and would take over. She's saying, you're not fit enough. Joe, get lost. You're not fit enough. Okay, then you do it. No, I'm not going to do it. I can't run the country. And they won't let me. Nancy Pelosi, BlackRock, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton. They won't let me run the country. I just have to stand in front of everybody and make myself look stupid. I'm not running the country. Joe Biden's not running the country. But these people in the background, they definitely are. These rich people, they definitely are. These people who don't want to be called out when Donald gets into power on this list, on these lists, these people that don't want to be exposed, that's why they don't want him in. That's exactly why they don't want him in. If he gets into power, all these billionaires on these lists, all these videos that will come out, they don't want to be known. Not just them. I've got people in this country, princes. I've got people in this country that may be called out as well from doing things they shouldn't be doing. That's why they don't want Donald Trump to win. He's not bought. They are. That's the difference. The media is bought. Disney rules everything. BlackRock rules everything. Nobody wants to be found out. So Donald Trump can't get into power, because if he gets into power, all these billionaires who are on these lists will be exposed. And they can't have that. So there will be more attempts on Donald's life. I'm pretty certain of that. They can't allow him to be president. And if he does win, they'll fight it. Tooth and nail, they'll fight it. They won't sign him in. They will do everything they can to stop that man getting into power, because he cannot be bought. And that's the issue that, most of the countries have. If you have a politician that can't be bought, they're against you. And you'll find that person, somehow managed to either get shot or have an accident or whatever. Sorry, anyway, you start me off again. I'll talk about Forrest and you start me on that. The problem is some of these idiot voters aren't looking at what has done or what he wants to do. They just don't like him as a person. So they vote for morons just because, yeah, that's pretty much what they say. She's not Trump. Well, don't vote for her. If you don't want to vote for Trump, don't vote for her because she doesn't give a monkeys about you. She does not care. She doesn't care. It's crazy. She could have done all the things that she says. Like, she's such a liar. What would you do differently than Joe Biden when you're president? If you're president? Well, nothing really. It's pretty much what she said. She didn't say it like that, but she said, I wouldn't change anything. Biden did a good job. But you're saying that you frack. You're saying that you do this. You're saying that you do that. No tax on tips. You're saying all of these things. So you might as well vote for Donald Trump because you're saying exactly what he's saying now. But you won't do it because you said when they asked you, what would you do differently, Kamala? What would you do differently? Nothing. I won't do anything different than Biden did. So you've got another 4 years of exactly what you've already had. And she's saying, on day one, when I get in, you're in. You're in now. Biden's not fit enough to run. He's not fit enough to run the country. He's not fit enough to try and be president. You're in now. Joe, I'm running for president. And I think, I've got every chance of getting in. So before I get in, what say you we close the border? What say you we do this? What say you, we frack? What say you, no. Because she's got no intention of doing any of those things. The only reason she's closed the border, which is more bullshit, the media is terrible. She closes the border and say, well, we've had less crossings now, blah. Yeah. Those crossings that you can see, you just fly them in. You miss the border altogether. They haven't gone down. You're still having as many people come into the country. They're just not coming across the border. They're being flown in to swing states. So they've done for years. First, they tried to get the blacks on board, then the Hispanic and Mexicans and those to make them vote, for the Democrats. But they've been here long enough now. They've learned, and they want to vote Republic. They want to vote Conservative because now they're Americans. They're into the fold. They think like Americans. So because they're losing that sort of vote, they brought in new people to vote Democratic, and they put them in the swing states. So they'll vote Democratic, and you'll never have a Republican president again. I'll be surprised if you have any more presidents again after Donald. I'm surprised. Unless, this world resets. And I don't mean in a bad way, I mean in a good way. Unless the world resets and this communist bull, countries should stop trying to buy land off them. Countries should stop allowing migrants and, not nationalised people being in office. That's the biggest issue you've got. You've got, that Somalian lady. She only thinks about Somalia. I think it's Somalia. Can't remember her name. It's like, why is she in power? Oh, I know why she's in power. Because the Democrats force them through. You go to Congress and they do the interviews and say, why do you want to be in Congress and whatever, Senate? And they have the interviews and they put that many through. You have to accept one or two of them. And they get in. And they just keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that. Until, the same with the judges. Push a whole load of judges in and then you have to accept, one or two of them. So they're in. And then another one, another one, another one. And it just keeps going like that. So, and, it's the same here. It's just, just crazy. I hope your home project gets done before the snow flies. This community sounds like, who knows, but I really have no idea if that is true. She has told you exactly what she is going to take off you and more. Yeah, exactly. She just doesn't care. She's not in charge. She hasn't been given anything to say. She hasn't been given anything to say. She just goes out and says whatever comes into her head because there's already an agenda set. And she keeps wearing those earrings now, so tell me what to say. Tell me what to say. Did you see what she was like when the prompter went off? 32 more days. 32 more days. Then went off again, and she's like, "Oh, we've got loads to do." She's useless. Hate shoveling the carpet. Neither R or D. No dog in this race. Neither Republican or Democrat. No, just vote independent. Like you saw what they did to RFJ Junior. It's like RFK Junior. It's like when he was Democrat. Yeah, great. As soon as he said, "Look, you people are crazy. I've had enough of you. This is not the Democratic Party that I know." They're trying to stitch him up. Same with Tulsi Gabbard, with all of them. The people that were Republican that won Democratic, you don't see the Republicans trying to shoot them down. Probably glad to get rid of them. But it's like he sits in front of the Senate. These Democrats have a go at him, say that he said all these things. He said all them things when he was in your party, you idiot. He hasn't just said them. He said them ages ago. Now you're having a go at him because he said it. He said it. When he did say it, you weren't bothered. But now that he's Republican, oh, it's terrible, these things that he said. And he didn't even say them, but you're trying to make out that he did. Well, he said things, but not in the way they're trying to make out he said them. Yeah, nothing comes to mind. You're right. If you're going to change it, nothing comes to mind. I'm going to do anything different. Everything's good. She said, how good he was. Bidenomics. When you realise, oh, I'm not fucking around. No one needs this shit anymore. No one does need this shit anymore. You're right. The truth will set you free. Yeah, that's a good saying. Oh, it will reset. Your wish will be granted. Yes, it needs that reset. It really does. Mario, what do they do? What do who do? The hoodoos. What do who do? What do they do? Bringing living under the taxes, making them US citizens. Yeah, they're only US citizens to vote for Democrats. This is just an attempt to be democratic forever. No Republican, if there's still elections, no Republican will ever be president because in all the swing states, there are that many immigrants now. I think Trump is making a rod for his own back because as soon as I get in, there's going to be this mass deportation. So they're going to make sure that they get a chance to vote Democrat because they don't want to leave America when they can, just take what they want from American citizens because that's what they're doing. Gangs of people just breaking into houses, taking what they want, taking money, bit like it used to be with the mafia, no different, pay or that's crazy. No different than the mafia was. Probably going back to prohibition. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy that you can, as a voter, see it. Well, you probably wouldn't see it on MSN or CNN or whatever. They probably wouldn't show it. So that's probably why you're still voting because you're in the dark about what's really going on. But on the channel, just, it's only a few. Only a few buildings with, probably, probably more than 500 people. But probably as many as 1,000 people that are affected. It's like, oh, it's only a few. Crazy. Did you go the NFL game on Sunday? No, I don't do Yeah, I don't call it football. It's not football. It's throw a ball, and kick a field goal or whatever they are. You know, I only know football as people that kick a ball with their feet. So no, I didn't watch it. Was it at Wembley? I didn't even know about it. I bet we become fast. I guess we become fast and accurate. Don't know what that means. Fast and accurate. Who was it between? Zozo. So you're not a fan of... No, there is no such thing as American football to me. It's not football. It just isn't football. I can't class it as football. It's such an insult that you call it football. Sorry. I'm not being horrible, but you throw the ball. You only kick it every now and again. Well, at least in rugby, they, drop it out of their hands and kick it. But in America, they run with the ball and they throw the ball. They touch the ball down, and then they may kick a field goal now and again. That's nothing like football. I don't understand how you get the word football in that. Just we've got to call our game soccer, which is a real game of football where you kick the ball, your foot and the ball actually join, and that's how you play the game, by kicking it all around the pitch. And we have to change ours to soccer. Hang on, which is more like socking it? Or kicking it? Which is more like soccer? It's crazy. No, my game's football, your game is national whatever. But it's not football. Sorry. And no, I don't. No. I used to watch it, but when you decided to change our game to soccer, no. No. I got upset. Bears and someone. Chicago Bears. Bears and someone like that. Running with feet is a common activity. Yes. Then that would be called athletics. But foot and ball hardly ever make contact. Call it throwing and running ball. It's like, this is crazy. I don't, and not many people do, call my game soccer. When we invented it, football. So that's our name, football. And you want us to call it soccer because after we invented our football, you invented another game that has nothing to do with football. No. So really, if a name should change, you should change your name from football to NFS. That's just how I see it. It's just crazy. And that's probably less than somebody saying, my pronoun is whatever. I think they're doing a lot of games across the pond to try and get more international interest for football. Yes, they're doing lots. I mean, there's a few people over here that do like American football. I have to be honest. The person that owns my football team, Stan Kroenke, whatever his name is, or has shares in it. Has your own really good American team over there. But another reason why I don't like it is because he takes the money from my team that was doing really well to pay for his team over there. The millions that we make from my team is changing to dollars so we can pay for his American team. So no. American football has been around since the 19th century. When did European football? Yes, same. The 1800s. It was the same. Listen, please, Zozo. It was the same. When it first started, there was just towns, and they would run it from one place to another, kicking it, throwing it, all sorts of things. getting it to this other place. And over the years, it changed. But it didn't change in America. It stayed the same in America, in the sense that what they took from England, they tried to use over there. But they changed the rules, and still called it football. We didn't change the rules, and we still called it football. So yours is a cross between football and rugby. That's what your game is. It's a cross between the two games that we had in our country. One stayed football, one went to rugby. Yours stayed football, but it's more like rugby. But you didn't want to call it rugby. You wanted to call it football. But it's rugby. It's not much different than rugby. Rugby union, rugby league. Have a look at it. And we didn't wear all the pads that you wear. Stuff like that. We just wear a shirt and beat the crap out of each other. Don't wear helmets. Just wear headbands, sweatbands or whatever. But yeah, one's rugby, one's football. It's pretty much the same. What? 1954? No. Yeah, European as in matches, like maybe playing for a cup. But no, in the 1800s. I think the earliest was 18. I don't know. If I said, I'd probably be wrong. My team, I think, was 1896. The Royal Engineers, we were called. 1896, my team. But there were teams way before then. And they weren't really teams. They were just villages. Lots of people in the village just playing the game. Called football. No, not 1954. Maybe 1854, but not 1954. The Bears still suck. So you can't remember who the other team was? It's normally Miami Dolphins. Who normally come over? 49ers. San Francisco 49ers. Miami Dolphins. Maybe Green Bay. Can't remember. Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills. Denver Broncos. Those sort of teams. Written in the European Football Union was established in 1944. Yeah. But yeah, it was originated in 19th century Britain. Woohoo! There you go. Football, British, English. Well, yeah, British, English. But European football was just, world football was around then anyway, early on in the 19th century. Was it 19th century? 20th century. World football. When Uruguay and teams like that were winning. That was weird. Thanks for that, Tim. The cold weather is coming along with Joe John. How you doing? Oh, you're rusting britches as well, are you, Joe John? Yes. Then everybody knew what who's done. Maybe somebody came along with brown stains on their pants in order to prove who they were. Maybe. You know what I mean? It's like, look at that person with rust stains on his pants. And even that, we don't call them pants, we call them trousers. Pants are underwear. Jaguars? Are they the people that came? Never heard of them. That sounds more like a hockey team than a rugby. Sorry, football team. No, American football didn't originate in Britain. American football originated in America. Football originated in Britain. Yes. They used to do keepy uppy with weird things. Yes. And they used to keep it up and kick it. You do not need to be silent, sirs, and this is an amazing time we are in. You get to watch something unheard of. Yes. Tim. Maya played with a ball made of hard rubber and could not use their hands. Yes, use their feet. Called football. But they didn't have a ball. So they didn't call it football because they didn't have a ball. But we have a ball and use our feet and call it football. So thanks for, proving my point that, yeah, they used to do those things, but they didn't have a ball. They used their feet, but they didn't have a ball, so they couldn't call it football until they had a ball that they kicked with their feet. Zozo, ball court in northern Arizona. That sounds like tennis. The ball is in your court. Yeah, these are the things we should talk about. Anyway, I refuse to call my national game soccer. It's just not. There's nothing about it that is soccer. Nothing. What's that? Is that what they call it? Whoopaki? Uppakeepy, keepy uppy. I also believe the Aztecs bought it. The game north. Yes, still not ball, still not foot. Just, yes, still foot, but not ball. But that sounds like keepy uppy, akapi, uppaki, uppaki. Hello, whoever that is. FF talked of JD Salinger, but left out 44 word, which was David. Four word. Well, there's 2 4s in there, the D and the D, and then you just got AV. I don't know what 44 word is, unless it's 2 Ds, which you couldn't have. JD Salinger. That reminds me of the Homer gag in Homer Simpson. He spent half the program trying to find out what my middle name is. His name's Homer J. Simpson, so he spent half the program trying to find out his middle name. And then when he actually found out what it was, it said his name is Homer J. Simpson. J-A-Y, Homer J. I don't know what middle name. What does J stand for? It stands for J. I chose not to be silent. Well, what's that from? That rings a bell, that does. I chose not to be silent because of what you see. Neither should you. You will get ridiculed and you will be scoffed at, but the truth stands on its own and will stand in front of you. Where he talked about how much he loved his book. Yes, but I don't know what I remember him talk about J.D. Salinger, but I don't know what you mean by 44 word. Left out 44 words. So reading that should be 44 words. Actually, you're trying to throw me now because that's the wrong which as well. Which was David, which is the wrong which. So you wrote more like Forrest than Forrest wrote because you wrote Solinger instead of Salinger. I think that says Solinger. And you said which instead of which, and word instead of words. Yes, he left out the 44 word. I can't remember that. I don't know what that 44 means. Yes, he left out the 44 word. Don't know. I can't remember that. I can only remember. He said that he was writing his story. Just the schools and the something had changed. I can't remember the 44 bit in it. I just can't remember it. I can remember what he was saying, but I can't remember that bit. The 44 word. And the fact that he left it out means I don't know which one it is. 44 word. I'm trying to think of something that's got 44 with it, but I can't. Are you still here, Davey? Davey's pretty good at stuff like that. Oh, I can't remember that. My middle name is D. F F. Prayed for D. Out loud. Yeah, D. I wonder if it's related to knowledge without a D. Or I wonder if it's just the words that are in the poem. So hear me. Yeah, so you're doing exactly what Forrest does now and what Dillard does. So hear me all, and you got on. So hear me on, listen good. You that line has the name sounder scrambled inside of it. And with my secret number system, it adds up to 44. The Woody, my middle name is D. Oh, no, it's D. It's Lee. Lou D. Bell. Lou Lee Bell. Oh, your real name. Lou Lee Bell and Lou D. Bell. So here that line has the name sounder scrambled side of it. Number system. That's up to 44. Can't get my head around it. So hear me on, listen good. FF prayed for Would D and you. Well, I think Woody has two D's, doesn't he? He has Woo D D. So Woo D D Bog. It's D by birth, but I don't use it. So Woo D D Bog. Diddy. Uh-oh. Is that your secret name? Diddy. Diddy. Woo Diddy. And I'm a double D. Yes, that is funny. A double D. That used to be a drink, didn't it? Double Diamond. Does anybody remember that? Did you ever have it? Stick some of these up. Natural, of course. Of course. Wouldn't expect it any other way. Just trying to work out what I'm saying again. Keep getting moved off from one to another. I want to sort of like transition to something else. Down to what was the reason for the bridge? And does that have an impact? Affects the trove? So the picture on the front is the Florida Keys, which has the bridge and the keys. And not that the two are umbilically attached. But you would, in order for it to happen the way that it's meant to, make it happen the way it's supposed to be, then you would probably need both because one helps the other. in a weird kind of way. Have a son named David. Did FF have a son named David? I would say no to that. But he could have been a son called David. If that makes sense. So I would say no, he didn't have a son called David, but he could have been a son called David. I don't think he was. He might have been called John. Oh dear. Where's that confounded bridge? Lily Bell is a nickname. One of a few. Yes. Yes, I had gathered that. I have heard about your first name. So actually I probably heard the second name as well. So Greg, if you're hiding, if you're lurking, what happened? You're gonna give me some breaking news. You're gonna interview JCB, which could, um, move things on. And no Ben either. No Ashley. Could have had a, power hour. It's amazing how, does it just get used to? Are they the words that I want to say? How you get used to people going live, having the programs to watch, and then when they don't happen, it's like, oh, oh. And you too, Woody. Thanks for popping in. If I ever get to America, I'm going to pop in and see you, and you'll have to put the saddle on and a bit and everything on because I don't know how to do that. But I wouldn't mind if I could. Greg is going live on five channels. 5 channels. 5 channels tomorrow. The brutal truth. There are just some things I do not understand. Technology is one of them. I don't understand the word understand. That's a crazy word. What's it supposed to mean? Like under, stand. Below, beneath. Don't know. Doesn't make sense. Like to comprehend sounds like a word to understand, but I don't know what understand means. To address. Don't know if that's understand. Relate. That I can understand that. But understand. How is that a relatable word? How does that mean that you get what's being said? Like get, you can relate that. Receive, you can relate that. But understand, I don't know how that means you know or relate to what's being said. That's what I heard. Hey Glenna, how you doing? It's good to have you here. Robert Redford did write Yeah, you're definitely doing it now, aren't you? Did write a book. Your name is scrambled in line 23 of the poem. And Rutherford is scrambled. I remember reading about Robert Redford in Utah with his property, how he tried to make it, blend in as opposed to be an eyesore. Row floor, row four, block 23, or is it row 23, block 4? Yeah, block 4, row 23. Your name is scrambled in line 23 of the poem. If you are brave and in the wood. So hear me all and listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold if you are brave. To the gold. Red, 4. I see the Robert because Robert's in the poem, who is a searcher. Actually, he normally pops in, Robert does. So he's definitely there. The red Ford is F-O. Redford. Ah, no. And leave my turquoise to the answers I already know. I've done it hard. Two Ds. Good night, MJ. Thanks for popping in. Is K-Pro and them going live? Because I don't want to be treading on anyone's toes. Thanks for being here, MJ. It's always good to have you chatting. Is that peace? Or somebody with a gas mask on? Trying to remember all the things that I put on the front of the video to talk about, and I can't. I hate when I do. I should write it down, shouldn't I? I should write down what it is that I put on the front, and then I can go over it. Wow, you. Good night, wherever you are. That is the only line. Book code. Night? You're not. You're morning. Night all. That used to be a medicine. So I think I'll probably leave it there. I'm sure they're probably not going to talk about Forrest Fenn. I don't know, or JCB. But it is Monday today, so I think they will go on. No, it's Tuesday today. What happened to Monday? Who got rid of Monday? So Greg is going live tomorrow on 5 channels. How is that? See a roomie. So again, if you're in those states, I hope you're getting the help that you deserve. If you're in those states that are going to have the next hurricane, I hope that you listen to the instructions of those that are in charge. Excuse me. And by in charge, I mean like normal, decent, sane people that are running your state and not people who don't care. You know, I can't praise Ron DeSantis enough for what he did. You know, probably the biggest evacuation of people in America for a very long time, moving them out to save their lives. Apart from that bloke who stayed on the boat, who people felt sorry for and then found out he was a villain, and then basically said no. Captain John, was it? What's his name, Captain John? Like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. I'm going to ride it out. And then they found out he was under boat arrest. He couldn't go anywhere anyway. So, yeah, that was a bit weird. The 9 clues are authors. The 9 clues are authors. Oh, I didn't do that's a solve I didn't do. Wow. I didn't do that one. The 9 clues are authors. In the sense that you mean, I don't know if that's in the sense that you mean it, like authors, people who wrote a book, but Forrest? Okay. No, I can't see 9 off the top of my head, so I don't know. I don't know. Thanks for popping in, Tim. Both Tims. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're safe traveling around the country. Not meeting up with any gangs. Let's just put it that way. Just crazy, crazy, crazy time. You haven't got long now, though. November the 5th, so you've only got 15 to the end, 16 to the end. Ooh, 21. 21 days. How good's that? And then, well, it won't all be over because they won't, even if Donald Trump wins, they won't accept it. They won't accept it, but I think he will. I honestly believe it's going to be 67%. The least will be 61, but 67 looks good. I think he'll win it easy. And I hope so, because it needs to stop the war in Russia, the war in Israel, the rumors of war in Taiwan and other places, which is exactly what the Bible says. There will be wars and rumors of wars when the end time comes, and that's what we've got. We've got wars and we've got rumors of wars. That's very crazy. Good luck. You add a normal voice to his show. Oh, is that Luli Bell? I was going to say Lob. Who's Lob? Yes, it is a normal voice to the show. When she can get a word in. See you all tomorrow. I looked up that word, Luli. It's a good word, that is. Hopefully going to try to be on camera. What time tomorrow, Luli? Like, and where are you? Where is it? Like 5 channels all going live, but which is the live time? Try Jeff, it's always fun. I tried Jeff, it's always fun. So, like, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Would it be this sort of time? 2 a.m. in the morning here. Would it be this sort of time, or earlier or later, do you think? Oh, the suspense is killing me. That was to you, Lily. What time will Greg be going live? 4 or 5 Eastern time, not sure. 4 or 5. But what time? What time is it? Would it be now in there? That seems pretty early. That does. So 4 or 5 Eastern time is not as far behind me as 4 or 5 Eastern time, 6 hours to will be 8 p.m. roughly. There, 4 or 5. I see Greg's working on something. Eastern time, 4 p.m., 5 p.m. That's pretty early. I don't think my voice belongs in his chat. I'm in mountain time. See, I don't get. You could probably explain this before I go. Why do they say the Midwest when they talk about, the places near Maine and that? Is it Missouri, Michigan? Is it Michigan? Like the Midwest. Like as I look at it, it looks like Northwest to me when they're talking about the blue states. That so like Florida, I would say was southeast, and then right above it, there's some blue states, and they say that's Midwest, and it's like, well, the Midwest to me would be, Colorado, Utah, Idaho, like that's in the middle, and that looks west side, not that side. That doesn't make sense. Like these in the Midwest. So I would have said that Oklahoma was in the middle. Nebraska, Texas was in the middle. I would have said they were in the middle of the country, but it doesn't seem that way when they talk about it. Mine says 5 p.m., so I assume East time will be 8 p.m. 5 p.m. Thanks, Glenn. Yeah, the less it is, it's because it's further away. No. Yeah, the less it is because it's further away. So 8 p.m., 6 hours, will be 2 p.m., 2 a.m. So yeah, probably roughly. So for me, hey Tigger, how you doing? For me, it would be 2 a.m. So 8 p.m. Is that? Each time will be 8 p.m. Yeah, 6 hours behind, 8 p.m. So you must be more west. Does that make sense to me? I think so. Middle is heartland. Like Oklahoma and those things going up. Where the Louisiana Purchasers, is that the heartland? Just weird. Like Midwest, I would have thought would be on the other side of what you're saying is heartland. Like where's Wyoming then? Because Wyoming looks like it's in the middle. And Oregon and those places, look like they're going west. You deserve them. They're good. I don't know if I've seen the latest, but what's the latest about? I don't think I've seen the latest. A few days ago, the other one that I saw. Well, we might have another view then. And another live, I think. Yeah, some great scenery. Absolutely brilliant scenery. And, those flowers and garden ones are good. Very good. A lot more flowers and stuff than I've got in my garden. I think we're on the, way out now. Not many. So I thank you everybody for popping in. And speaking Midwest is west of the heartland to the Rockies. I'm driving now. I'm just about to go now, Tigger. Thanks for popping, but I was just about to get off. It's always good to thank you. I really enjoy it. Yeah, I quite enjoy doing this. But like I say, I was going because Greg said he was going to go live, and he didn't go live. And Ben said he was going to go live, and he didn't go live. And it's like, well, I'll go live then. You know, I'm not as good as they are, but I think it's probably better than nothing. I've been wrenched virtually. It's all virtual. Nothing is as it seems. It's all virtual. So everybody take care. Like I say, if you're in those states where the weather's crazy, not just there, you know, Wyoming hasn't been too good. Colorado hasn't been too good. Got Wyoming fires and tornadoes in Colorado. Just crazy, crazy, crazy stuff going on. But it wouldn't surprise me if they were in, you know, certain areas that BlackRock might be interested in buying. No, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all 15 of you, and the 5 likes. You know, I really do appreciate it. So, I'm going to put that. Thanks, y'all. Oh, some hearts. Thanks, Money. I do appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, it's bedtime for me. It's 2 a.m. So I think I'm it. Young man. I've never been to any of those places, Luli, but I have now because you kindly showed them to me. You know, through the chase, I've learned quite a lot, you know, about America and seen quite a lot of America. Excuse me. I think the one place, well, not the one place, just like the area almost, which has a, you know, some of the things that I'd like to see is Mount Rushmore, because near there there's Deadwood, and near there there's Devil's Tower, and you know, just quite a few things in that one area that I would like to see. And obviously Mount Rushmore is, you know, incredible. Don't know how they did it. Well, I know how they did it, but I don't know how they did it and how they came up with the, you know, the idea of doing it. Really, really cool. So, ciao for now. Have a great night. Thanks for being here. Many, many, many heartsies. Take care, everyone.